All right. Good morning and good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to today's webinar. We are delighted to have you with us as we explore an exciting and important theme. Today's session is all about zero blind spots, turning cameras into real-time safety intelligence. In a world where safety and technology are increasing intermittent, this topic highlights how innovation can make environments smarter, safer, and more responsive. To set the stage, let me first introduce you to our company, ACL Digital, an Alton Group company, and share a little about who we are and the expertise we bring to this space. Next slide. ACL Digital is an Alton Group company, and we are proud to be engineering the future of AI-driven digital transformation. We serve as a trusted partner in AI-led digital and system engineering, delivering chip-to-cloud solutions that empower businesses worldwide. As a part of the Alton Group, we bring over 30 years of experience serving customers across the globe. With revenue exceeding $4 billion, a global strength of more than 57,000 professionals, and over 6,500 customers worldwide, our reach and expertise are truly extensive. We operate through 11 centers of excellence, 35 plus design and delivery centers, and 15 plus strategic partnerships, including collaborations with Fortune 100 companies. Our commitment to excellence is reinforced by industry recognitions and certifications. ACL Digital is ISO certified, CMMI Level 3, AS 9100 2016 certified, and TISAX compliant, ensuring that we meet the highest standards of quality, security, and reliability. With this strong foundation, ACL Digital continues to innovate and transform industries. Now, let us move to the next part of our session, where I'll introduce our speakers who will take us deeper into today's topic. Next slide. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan Ji. He is the head of data, AI, and Gen AI at ACL Digital, and a distinguished leader in strategic AI transformation. With a proven record of driving automation-led digital impact exceeding $20 million, he has spearheaded initiatives that delivered remarkable savings and faster turnaround times. Beyond his corporate achievement, he is a recognized thought leader, advisor to ISRO, IIM, and a TEDx speaker. His insights today will be invaluable as we explore the future of AI-driven safety intelligence. Joining him is Ms. Bhuvaneshwari Hatti, an accomplished AI architect and computer vision expert with over a decade of experience designing and delivering scalable production-grade AI systems. Her expertise spans images and video analytics, object detection, and edge AI deployments. She has successfully led end-to-end AI architecture program across industries, translating complex business challenges into intelligent solutions that drive efficiency and innovation. We are fortunate to have her perspective in today's discussion. Now, before I hand over, a quick reminder to all of you present here. If you have any questions during the session, please type them into the Q&A box that you see on your screen down there. We will be addressing them towards the end of the webinar. And with that, I'm excited to hand over the session to Lakshmi, who will take us deeper into today's topics. Lakshmi, over to you.
Thank you, Vishesh. So good morning, good evening to everyone who has joined this webinar. The topic is a very, very interesting one. Zero blind spots from cameras to intelligent safety systems. How we are converting everything into real-time safety intelligence. Maybe before I get to the agenda, I'll start with a very simple question to you. Most factories already have cameras, isn't it? But what are they doing? Recording. But what if those cameras can think, detect risk, prevent accidents before they happen? That's exactly what we mean by zero blind spots. So we'd like to create a specific safe workplace where nothing unsafe gets unnoticed. With that in mind, we have designed the webinar agenda. We are going to talk about the market reality today, how the safety landscape and industry trends are shaping up, and what is the hard truth in the industry today, the safety pain points, and the challenges the companies are facing today. And we'll also talk about the traditional versus modern safety, how things have evolved, and how computer vision is playing a role in changing the entire landscape and the game here. And we would like to talk about our project experience also on how we have helped some of our customers in solving these problems so that you can get to learn from our experience. And finally, we'll also talk about the deployment of the ROI, how things get real when it comes to implementations. And finally, we will share our experience of how you can have your path towards zero blind spots. We'll give you a plan around that. Now, moving on, I'd like to start with some simple statistics to help you understand the reality of workplace safety. Millions, 2.78 million workers die annually due to workplace incidents. In fact, the safety incident cost, if you look at it, it's 4% of the global GDP annually. And ESG, which is a primary factor for many factories today, now includes safety as a major factor too. Don't you think these numbers are shocking for us? But more importantly, they tell us one thing. Most accidents are not unpredictable. They are preventable. The issue is not visibility because the cameras are there everywhere. The issue is the timely action that we can take. A worker not wearing a helmet noticed only after the injury. That is the problem that we are talking about. So think of it like seeing smoke, but reacting only after the fire spreads. So what is the use there? So moving on, let me start with a small poll for you. The poll will appear on your screen. I want you to answer this question. I want to understand your environment. Most organizations are still manual. And I want you to understand and tell me what's exactly is happening in your organization. How does your organization currently handle safety monitoring on the plant floor? You can pick one of the options. Is it dedicated safety officers doing manual rounds? Periodic audits and compliance checks? CCTV cameras with manual review? Or AI or automated monitoring tools? So pick your bet and let's look at how the results are shaping up. I hope you're selecting the answers. Good, I think we can close the poll, Vishesh, if that is okay.
Yes, Lakshmi. So about the poll, we have received around 27 answers and 16 of them says CCTV cameras with manual reviews.
Yep. So CCTV camera with manual review. Yes, that's the most popular answer also amongst the companies that we have worked with. So you can see the results very clearly. 59%, they are mentioning that CCTV cameras with manual review is the preferred option. So let's continue, Bhavana. Let's understand the market reality today. Why safety is becoming a top strategic priority for companies. There are multiple reasons. One, increasing regulations, no doubt. Rising incidents. AI adoption is also growing on another side. And all the factories, the companies, they would like to move from reactive to real-time feedback. So safety is no longer just compliance. It has become a boardroom topic for all the companies. Why? Because safety doesn't stop with incidents alone. It impacts cost, reputation, and investor confidence. In fact, we are seeing factories shutting down due to safety violations. I hope you have heard of this. Tesla uses AI vision in manufacturing to detect anomalies and safety risks, just like how we are talking about it in today's webinar. And ESG also scores now investment decisions significantly. So ESG scores have become more important, with safety becoming an important parameter in it. So earlier, safety was more like an insurance, but today it is like cybersecurity, always active, and we have very little choice. So as industry leaders, what can we do? We have to invest in sensor plus visual analytics. And the early adopters, people who have already invested into this, are seeing measurable reduction in incidents in this space. So moving on, we will talk about the safety pain points here. Why safety still fails in many organizations. The common safety blind spots are there. Humans have their own limitations. There is a human error or attention fatigue. You would have seen it in the poll. 59% of the people talking about CCTV cameras plus manual action. Don't you think the fatigue will, when you're continuously monitoring the CCTV camera, it's not easy for human to detect every incident happening on the floor. And we have operational challenges too. There are a lot of downtime and stoppages that happen. So liability and reputation risk becomes a common issue here. And then we have cultural challenges like employee disengagement with the safety process. That's one of the issues that we face with a customer where safety was more of a cultural thing and they could not accept cameras being used for this purpose. And if you want to do safety at scale, large plans, multiple shifts, multiple locations, if that is a problem, you can't do it manually. You can't have safety officers everywhere all the time. So inconsistent enforcement across shifts and contractors become a pain for you. And usually the night shift violations go unnoticed. And most incidents happen in the factory during low supervision periods. It's like our country where we are trying to monitor the entire city with very few traffic police. That's a risk that a company cannot go through. So moving on, Bona, we have a quick poll question for you. What is the biggest safety challenge in your facility today? Monitoring coverage across large or multi-shift operations, or inconsistent compliance across teams and contractors, lack of real-time incident visibility, or fragmented data and reporting? Where exactly you see an issue? We'll give you 20 seconds for you to select the right answer or your opinion. Vishesh, can we close the poll?
Yes, we're closing it now.
Good. Almost similar results like last time. 60% of the people believe that lack of real-time incident visibility is one of the biggest safety challenge in the facility today. I agree with you. Real-time incident visibility is a common problem, and that's where we are going to talk about the modern day safety. So if you look at it, the traditional safety versus modern safety, how things have evolved in the factory setup. From human monitoring to intelligent monitoring, that is the shift we are seeing here. In the traditional world, it is always manual and there is a delay that is always there. But in the modern day world, in the modern factory, the smart factory that we are talking about, The safety needs intelligent eyes with cameras all around, AI powered, real time. So instead of adding more and more people like the traditional setup, we are looking for smarter systems where AI acts as the intelligent eyes, capturing everything that is happening in the factory. So this is where the real-time surveillance comes into picture, and AI systems can process thousands of frames per second. In fact, here I would like to bring Bona here, who is going to talk about how computer vision and AI is changing the game here for everyone. Over to you, Bona.
Yeah, thank you. So, as we have seen, the manual monitoring is the most important concern here. So, let's talk how we want to bring this as an immediate action or trigger insights from this data. As we are aware that modern organization or factories or manufacturing units, they have the huge CCTV network setup, but they are just used for reports or used as a proof when something goes wrong, as Lakshmi mentioned in the earlier conversation. But let's think, can we drive the insights from this video feeds that is generated so massive amount of data every day? Yes, we can do. Here comes the computer vision. So we are just adding an intelligence layer on top of your existing infra. Let's say we do not have the infra. Yeah, it's not a difficult. We can just go with any of the IP cameras and then we can get started with that. So when we have this intelligent setup ready on our premises, then we can say the safety monitoring is always on 24/7, whereas human can kind of miss the near misses because of overnight works or fatigue and all that reasons where it's kind of chances are there where humans can miss it out. But with the AI assisted systems, it's always on even in the low vision light. The CCTV cameras are so equipped they can just capture the video and the AI is enabled to process it with the help of computer vision concepts. So, with this system ready, we can have the incidents, live alerts, or live alarms with the physical, just like a siren or lighting the bulb kind of things, which helps us to act before anything goes wrong. So, yeah, let's say we want to scale up this application overall the organization or multiple factories. Yeah, then if it was a manual, then it was really hectic to and but with the AI assisted systems, there is no increase in the headcount. So when we have this intelligence layer added on top of our CCTV or IP cameras, the safety comes, even the workers start feeling they are being monitored and they start adhering to the safety protocols. They don't take a chance because the immediate alerts are sent to them and they are aware because they have to care about their self well-being, and also they would be the alerts sent to the immediate managers and everything, and hence it creates a safer environment. So moving on, when we say we add an intelligence layer, so what exactly we do here? Yes, so as I said, we can just turn on the existing setup or we can just plug in the edge devices like NVIDIA Jets, and there are so many edge devices which are able to process the live feeds and able to give the real-time alerts based on different use cases. So what I mean by use cases that there are different scenarios when it comes to the safety compliances. Each industry have their own standards. So for example, there is a PPE compliance, like let's say it's a construction site or any manufacturing site, they have to wear a specific safety gears, just like helmet, vest, or gloves, or any specific that are custom made in their premises. We detect those before whenever they have to wear or follow these standards in the particular zones. We make sure the zone is detected and these workers are following the compliances. If not, we just raise an alert immediately. And then it comes this restricted area breach detection, where there can be areas where it has the access only to the authorized persons. Not everyone can go there. Or there can be regions where there can be danger kind of situation where workers are not allowed or any humans are not allowed in that area. Or there can be heavy vehicles or some human forklift crane kind of things where to the specific region or to some extent of area. They are not allowed, the humans are not allowed to walk or be, the presence of human is just prohibited. So we just, with the help of the deep learning models, with the detection algorithms, we detect and we raise the alerts immediately. And we also detect the unsafe postures, just or the fall detection. Let's say the workers, some of the worker is overworked and he's not behaving as, when I say not behaving, and he's expected to walk in certain speed, and we observe the speed is reduced, then we say there is something wrong in the behavior, and then we trigger the alert, hey, be careful, kind of things. So all this added will bring the advantage that when we react before the incident happens, there is a chances that we definitely there is a chance that we reduce the fever incidents. And uh, well, it's not just about the incidents, it can be a physical damage, or yeah, the cost to the company when something goes wrong, legal issues, insurance hikes, and all that comes into the picture. That is how the computer vision changes the game. Moving on. So let's see how the architecture or the evolution of the system changed from manual monitoring to the intelligent systems. So as we saw there, the manual monitoring is on the high percentage because the IP cameras are just installed to record and manual review if something goes wrong. So we have to go a level up. So that's the need came of the automation. So when we say automation, here the AI came into the picture. So, as we had the actual or the existing setup, we wanted, we do not want to change the existing setup, or the organizers don't want to invest more. So they just want the added layer. Then it came the systems, that the GPU enabled systems, where the camera feed of a cameras are processed on this GPU servers. The AI analytics is being done on the servers. And then we also provide dashboards. We have a standard dashboards where all these alerts or incidents are captured, and they to weave those things. But when the factory premises or the factory outlets increased, or the manufacturing units gets multiplicated, so the need, the centralized AI intelligence was lagging in terms of providing the real-time insights, because huge data and the investment on the GPU servers went high. So then came the edge AI. So what happened with the edge AI? The processing units just sat beside the cameras. All the analytics started to happen on these edge devices with minimum latency, a millisecond latency. And the alerts were triggered in no time, that's within seconds, where the workers can alert, and the safety increases. And there is no issues on the network bandwidth, or getting the late alerts, or which would deviate from the topic. So after, but the challenge with the edge AI came that it, the insights were processed and for a particular premise, but the, if you want to have the global insights of the entire factory with multiple outlets, was getting difficult. So then we came onto the intelligent safety ecosystem, that's the hybrid of edge plus centralized. So with the help of Edge AI, we were able to, we can get the immediate alerts on the safety. It can be the PPE detection, restricted zone access, or having the persons nearby any heavy lifting vehicles and all that stuff. And when these insights are passed on to the centralized systems, there we would get the overall premise or overall organization's insights, so that each and every premises the data is collected and we get the insights for an entire organization. Yes.
Excellent. Bona, just would like to add a point here. Uh, in fact, I still remember when we both of us were talking to one of the customers. The
Yes.
customer was very much interested to get all the data captured by the camera, and the decisions were taken not in seconds but in milliseconds. The
Yes.
expectation of the customer was very precise, like, we know how to do it in seconds. Can you help us to do it in milliseconds? That was the problem
Yes.
statement that they gave us. And it was a very interesting conversation with the customer in a way. Like they were looking for edge AI, they were looking for faster response, they were looking for lower bandwidth networks which were available there. So our models should work in that, and then better privacy, because that's one of the important advantages that this particular intelligent safety ecosystem that we are talking about offers. So all these things have become a kind of a mandatory or the basic hygiene factors these days when we talk about creating a zero blind spot in a factory. Thanks, Bona, for bringing this perspective. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, thank you. So let's see our experience. Yeah. So as we saw the manual monitoring, but we have received couple of requests and we have delivered few solutions where they are automating the solutions. Either it can be on the edge or on the centralized systems. So here we came up with one of the use case with it was, I think, the one of the FNB client. They came up with the request where they wanted to monitor the personal wearing the PPE kit. Here it's as a safety glass. You can just see in the video, in the upcoming video. But often challenge they faced was like the workers would come on wearing all the safety gears and everything, but when time passed, they would just take it off because there's no one to monitor within the premises. So hence they were finding the challenges. So here the challenge was to detect the safety glasses. When I say safety glasses, that are usually often wear in laboratories or uh, uh, laboratories, one of the example. So they also wanted to know who is wearing, who is adhering to the safety protocols and who is not. So we had integrated the PPE detection as well as the face recognition, two of the models. And it was all developed and deployed on the local machines or local servers without any internet connectivity. And here the challenges was with the different lighting conditions or no light kind of conditions. And we handled with the image pre-processing where we could enhance the images and get the better accuracy here, and which they were happy, and they also wanted the immediate real-time alerts who is following the standards. An SMS alert was sent within 5 to 10 milliseconds, because that's the often they wanted the time as a leverage. Yeah, and then it provided the safety. Yes. Lakshmi, is there anything you want to add here?
What you talked about is an interesting one, because when we bring uh, such kind of interesting systems into the workplace safety, it offers a lot of use cases, as I rightly just spoke about. On one side, we can detect PPEs, whether people are wearing the preventive protection kits. Facial recognition is definitely something I can see on the screen. That's something which is there, which will be useful for factories. And importantly, intruder detection is something which has become a mandatory thing these days. Restricted zone alerts, whether the right people are entering the right zones. That's a real-time safety intelligence that we would look at. And what is important for everyone in the webinar to understand is these are not concepts. These were concepts a few years back, but now we have deployed systems which are delivering real-world impact to the market. And the PPE kit detection, whether people are wearing helmets, whether they are safe, all these things have become a basic hygiene factor where every company is adopting it. Okay, so we cannot ignore this. And maybe I have a small question. I would like to hear from you if you have an opinion in the chat. Which use case do you think would deliver the fastest ROI in your setup? Is it the PPE kit detection or the facial recognition or restricted zone alert? Why do you think you'll find more value? If you have a thought, just put it across in the chat. I'd love to hear from you on that while we continue presenting this. Yeah, please go ahead, Bona.
Thank you. Yes. We'll come across the next solution here. So here it was the request from one of the other client from the manufacturing unit. So they wanted to, the PP is one of the, I think the standard protocol they would like to follow. And next is the introduction or the restricted zone access. And And they wanted the real-time alerts. Just now we spoke that the client was interested to get in the milliseconds, the alert in milliseconds. And so here we came up with an approach where that's the hybrid approach I mentioned earlier. The AI analytics was processed on the edge devices. There were multiple cameras installed in the premises, and each camera, let's say we had multiple challenges here. Let's say camera one and camera two are the two cameras, and each camera one's vicinity is overlapping with the camera two vicinity. Then the person standing in at the location where it is covered by both the cameras, then it would say the detection would happen twice and the alarms would happen twice. So let's say if it's just the two alarms for a one person and there would be so many workers, so if that happens, there the alarm would just going on. So that would annoy the workers and they would stop reacting to these alerts. So hence we had to handle the deduplication or multiple detections. So we came across the camera topology mapping where we were able to remove the deduplicates and also align uh, the area, that's the mapping of the real world coordinates to the digital coordinates. And the another challenge here was the restricted zone. The restricted zone would change dynamically because as it was a manufacturing unit, sometimes the machine would go for a maintenance. Then let's say the worker has come in the morning and he has worked well and fine at that particular location, but afternoon some machines that were located surrounding by him has gone to the maintenance. Then they have done the barricades, put the barricades over there, and then that becomes the restricted zone. But yeah, the person who has worked for 4 hours would not realize that's a restricted zone, and hence would continue working without realizing it's a restricted zone. So then comes our CV, the computer vision, where it detects the dynamic barricade zones and also identifies if the person is approaching to that area. Before the person approaches, the alarms are triggered. We try to manage to get it within a second here. And also they wanted to know how many times each individual is not following or breaking the safety protocols. So then comes the re-ID, the re-identification, because the re-identification here was challenging because as the workers would wear particular uniforms and hence it was difficult. So we tried to map the features of the face as well as the entire human features and tried to identify the who is the person, how many times they are trying to access the restricted zone, because the restricted zone is not only where the maintenance is going on, or it can be the specific areas only the higher management is around, or there can be areas where a non-tech or non-expert would not be going through that area because he doesn't know what should be operated there. So there can be different kind of restricted zones where it becomes a bottleneck that we have to handle. So the computer vision, the automated monitoring will help us here triggering the real alerts. And they also wanted the proofs, like let's say at this time stamp who is violating, and so hence we whenever the detection whenever we identified there is a violation of safety protocols, we try to save that snapshot as a proof whenever required for the audits, or if you want to look back, or it let's say it's just as a records. And this application was deployed as an edge plus centralized system, because when there are multiple cameras, that means the multiple premises, and we wanted the global view or the global insight. So hence only the analytics or the all the AI analytics was processed on the edge. The only the results, the AI results or the analytic results were then passed to the centralized system. Then those results, those analytics were consolidated and then given as a final results through the web application or through the dashboard.
Perfect.
Yes.
Bona, I would like to add few points on this slide from our experience.
Yeah.
There are a few things here. One, what we are looking at is not just detection through cameras. we are moving to decision intelligence here with the help of intelligent cameras. In fact, some of the features that some customers were expecting from us were, one, we can do a behavioral score for an individual. For every employee who is violating, we can continuously keep assigning risk scores to the individual as well as to the zones based on the repeated unsafe patterns that are emerging. That was one requirement that came from the customer. In fact, the beauty of this Edge AI solution is, or with the cameras, we are able to detect and log the incidents even before it could happen. And if you have good enough data, we can even start predicting where the failures would happen. That's where the conventional machine learning would come into picture and help us out. And the beauty is, with the cameras all around, we are able to bring more context to this entire workplace. So it understands the environment. In fact, for one of the chemical companies that I was providing consulting for earlier, they asked us, like, can you provide a camera, CCTV camera, which can actually detect whether if somebody is not moving in the lab for more than 30 seconds or 45 seconds, the alarm has to be raised. In fact, there was a policy in that lab, in that chemical company, biotech company anyway. They were saying, like, at any point of time, there should be at least 2 employees working in the lab. In fact, they asked us to build a computer vision model to continuously check if only 1 employee is there. If the person is not moving for more than 30 seconds, raise an alarm. So context-aware AI is something which we need to build. If the model is working in a lab, this policy has to be followed. If the model is working, let's say, for example, camera is in factory model, then automatically the respective policies will come into picture. So there is a significant intelligence that we are adding to this entire context, and that helps us. Also, if you notice, as Bona rightly spoke about, we are converting the real-time alerts to a kind of a predictive safety intelligence over a period of time. That is, I can do hotspot prediction, where exactly things are going wrong, which are the unsafe places in the workplace, I can find out with the help of the historical data. I can even identify shift-based risk. What kind of risks are associated with the day shift, night shift? I can look at the cameras, I can collect the data with the help of the logs, I can find out more insights there. That's another interesting aspect that we can build into this solution. And then we have predictive alerts for high-risk situations. And importantly, with most of the customers that we are working with, since we are talking about manufacturing, the engineering customers are usually very keen on such solutions. And when we have the conversations, when we deploy it, privacy is one of the important things that they look for. So there are few things that we have done for the customers, like, for example, on-device anonymization. That is, I can blur the face of the employee. I can do identity masking and ensure that the data is not moving out of the ecosystem. No raw video leaves the premises. That's where the edge-first architecture has a bigger advantage here. And the data that we are capturing, we are ensuring that the solution that we are deploying is actually compliance ready. You take GDPR, the European Union GDPR, or the ISO, or any internal policies of your company, this solution will be completely compliant to that. And the beauty of these solutions is it is always learning. The model is continuously learning from real incident data, and it is adapting to new situations. And as the environment changes, the model also changes. That's the beauty of these systems. And the feedback loop from safety officers is continuously fed in, and automatically that's going to improve the quality of the accuracy of this AI system. So this solution is already future-proof with all these AI features built into it. And last but not least, before I hand it back to Bona, I would like to talk about the integration advantage of these solutions. These solutions are more like plug and play. Whatever Bona was speaking about, it's more like a plug and play solution with the existing CCTV infrastructure that you might have. So you don't need to replace any of the existing infra for it unless your cameras are in a pretty bad shape. And it can also integrate with your existing EHS or ERP or any incident management systems that you might have. That's another big advantage that this kind of a solution architecture carries. And since we are focused on more API first architecture, the enterprise scalability is always taken care of. And with all these coming into picture, one thing I can tell you is the impact is significant when it comes to AI-driven workplace safety monitoring. So 30 to 50% reduction in the safety incidents can be guaranteed with the help of such solutions. And 40% manual monitoring effect comes down, gets reduced because of this solution. And thanks to CV, thanks to real-time intelligence, your response time is always 2 to 3x faster compared to the conventional safety systems that are already in your company. And obviously, with all these systems coming into picture, you are reducing the number of incidents, thereby your insurance compliance costs are coming down. This is how the tech architecture that you're seeing on the screen is creating business value for your organization. And last but not least, you have the entire data that is flowing from multiple cameras. We can have wonderful dashboards. Sitting in one place, you can monitor across plant, across geographies, what's happening in your plant with the help of these CCTV cameras. And benchmark safety performance across locations, you can track them. And enterprise safety governance is something that you can easily track. That's a lot that this solution offers for you, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, back to you,
adding to
Bona.
that, yes, adding to that, let's say we have done all the setup and the safety monitoring is up and running. And let's say we want to add it for another premise. It's not, okay, how do I do? It's just go install another camera and your system gets ready, running as is. So easily scalable as well.
True. In fact, sorry, I missed one important point, Bona. We always speak about human AI collaboration whenever we install AI. The beauty of these solutions is even though AI is identifying risk and flags them, we always bring the human into the loop to ensure that the right feedback is given and humans are taking the decisions with AI doing the predictions.
Yes.
And this augments the safety teams on the ground. It is not replacing them. That is also something that you should remember. We are only improving the safety with the infrastructure and ensuring that your safety team's productivity goes up. And the focus is completely shifting from monitoring to prevention. That's a big difference that we are offering with these kind of solutions.
Yes,
So in
rightly said.
fact,
Yeah,
every camera is becoming a safety officer here, Bona. That's the
yeah.
beauty of this solution. And every frame becomes an opportunity to prevent risk in your workplace. Yep.
Yeah. And AI is always an assistive to humans, but never replacing, as you said.
True.
Yes, moving on. Yeah, the another solution. Here we talk about, yeah, as you see, it's the real-time patient monitoring. But let me give you how the patient monitoring is relative to the safety or workplace monitoring here. Here, let's say the one of the client, the healthcare client, came up with a request where they wanted to monitor the patient or elderly person in the care homes to be monitored because always the HCPs or the caregivers are overworked and because of yeah, the growing number of patients or elder that are moving to the care homes. So they wanted AI assisted systems where they can monitor the patient. Here it included the behavior patterns. That's let me give you an example. So let's say a elderly person who always wakes up at 8 a.m. and he's still sleeping till 10 a.m. or to 11 a.m. Then the AI sees the pattern. Hey, this person has to be is supposed to be wake up at 8 a.m. but he is still lying down. Then there can be some concern. So then it just sends an immediate alert to the respected HCP saying that, hey, there can be a potential uh, concern here. Please go have a check. Then the caregivers can give the immediate care and attend the person immediately. And it also happens like the critical patients who always need a assistance of the caregiver, and the caregiver is not there in the premise and that person tries to walk up, and then we see the posture, and with the help of the post estimation models, and we detect whether the person is moving in the normal posture or is he about to fall down. Based on his posture analysis, we detect the fall detection prior to it happens, so that the prevention is always better than care. Yeah. Second question is, as coming back, how it is relevant to our safety workplace monitoring. So here, workers, sometimes it happens they have to do the work shift, or some individual might be tired, and then their behavior or the pattern changes. Let's say the person has to walk in so and so speed and or cover some certain distance, and that person fails to cover, then we can just say, hey, and if that continues to happen for 1 hour or 2 hours, then the alert will be raised, or the notification, not the alert, but notification will be sent, hey, maybe you have to relax, kind of things. Or let's say it's a lunchtime and there are 2 or 3 persons, the same persons wandering in the area where it's a restricted zone, or on at the unusual point of time, then the footfalls would raise a concern. Then the notification is sent immediately to the concerned person, hey, there is an unusual activity happening here. So that is why it's relevant to the workplace safety here, which we have done the solution for one of our healthcare client. And this solution was also developed on the edge as well as the centralized system. Let's say, for 2 examples, this solution was applicable to the elderly care homes as well as for the hospital premises. So elderly care home, it was on the edge because we didn't want the global insights for each and every patient. But for hospital premises, we wanted to monitor each and every patient, like if there are 50 patients and 2 caregivers or 2 HCPs, then it gets difficult to manage. Then that is how AI assist to manage and give the care for the critical patients. Yes, and we'll just have a look on the solution. Before that, we'll have the poll here. Vishesh, can we have the poll question?
Yep, interesting question. Which computer vision safety use case is most relevant to your facility? PPE compliance monitoring, restricted zone or access breach detection, proximity alerts, yeah, very popular during the COVID times, fall detection and unsafe posture monitoring. Good one. What is your guess, Bona? Which one do you think the participants will select the most?
Yeah, I think most of all the options goes for the safety, but yeah, it depends on client to client or organization to organization.
Mm-hmm. My guess, PPE compliance monitoring.
Yeah, the quickest ROI we can achieve here.
Yes. And that becomes a compliance point too. So I believe, but yeah, let's wait for the response. Yeah, Vishesh, I think we can close the poll if that is okay. Oh, okay. Our predictions have gone wrong. Only 19% have selected the first option. 38% have selected restricted zone or access breach detection. And 31% have gone for fault detection and unsafe posture monitoring. Good, Bona. Yep, back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, let's have a quick watch on our solution.
In today's healthcare environment, caregivers are burdened with time-consuming monitoring, continuous fall risk checks, and tedious reports, which increases the risk of delayed responses and missed warning signs. That's where iCare comes in. iCare is an AI-powered patient observation tool that is designed for diverse healthcare providers, including hospitals, elderly care homes, and long-term care facilities. It delivers smart monitoring and gives real-time alerts, enabling caregivers to intervene quickly. That's the promise of iCare. Hi, I'm Sophia, and I'm here to show you how iCare works. Let's get started. iCare provides caregivers with a centralized dashboard that gives a complete overview of patient activity across hospital wards, emergency blocks, and care facilities. Critical alerts such as falls or potential risks are monitored in real time, helping staff take immediate action. With iCare, caregivers can access detailed patient profiles, including status updates, activity history, and real-time video monitoring. Every movement is tracked, from getting out of bed to walking actively or showing signs of fall risk, providing a clear timeline for accurate decision-making. Beyond real-time monitoring, iCare transforms raw activity into actionable insights. Caregivers can track patient mobilization, well-being, and activity trends on a daily and weekly basis. The dashboard provides a clear view of monthly and weekly nurse visits, showing time spent on personal care, mobility, medication, and other patient activities. It also captures guest and family visit durations, along with behavioral patterns and daily activities across days or weeks, enabling a proactive approach to healthcare management. For doctors, iCare delivers clear health trend visualizations that support proactive care planning, while families gain peace of mind through real-time updates and reports accessible anytime. iCare is designed to fit seamlessly into your existing systems and workflows. It integrates with hospital platforms like EHRs, EMRs, nurse stations, and third-party applications through secure APIs. Deployment is flexible. iCare can be implemented on-premise or in the cloud, depending on your healthcare system's requirements. All data is transmitted and stored securely, fully compliant with HIPAA and GDPR. iCare's AI models can be tailored to align with your healthcare facility's data security and policies. Highly customizable, iCare adapts to the unique needs of your healthcare environment. This is Sophia signing off for now. Thank you for exploring iCare, the future of patient observation. Stay connected, stay informed with iCare.
Yes. So coming to the deployment part, here, as I have mentioned earlier as well, we have different deployment options. It just goes with the environment, how fast they want the alerts, the latency, network dependencies, and all that stuff. So having said we have 4 options, it's not that if we go with the edge, the safety protocols or the compliance is compromised with any of the option. The values or benefits still remain the same. It's just based on our requirement. If the processing or the alerts, the risk is high, we just go for the edge. And if we have the existing infra and we do not want to spend more, then we go for on-premise. And with the edge or on-premise, we ensure the data security is maintained. And some options we go for the cloud for a quick POC kind of, where we want to see the quick turnaround, whether how it works and kind of stuff. And also, as I explained in the previous solution, that's the hybrid model. That is where the scalability works, data security works, the real-time alerts are within milliseconds. Yes. So with any of the approach, we still maintain the safety protocols. Detection happening with the CV models. Yes. Yeah. Over to you, Lakshmi here.
Thank you, Bona. So I'm just going to quickly run you through how you can have your roadmap to AI-driven safety. So we follow a very simple approach with our customers. If they're interested to reduce their workplace safety incidents, we just follow a 4-step approach: discovery, pilot, deployment, and scale up. Because our philosophy is very simple. Our customers, we want them to start small, prove value, and then scale up. We do not want a big bang transformation that is happening here. We want to go by a phased journey where first step, check the hardware, what you have got, what kind of data silos you have, because these are the typical problems that we generally face when we deal with the customers. And then the next step is to identify the dark zones. Once we have understood the physical constraints of your factory, then it is easy for us to identify what operational KPIs we are going to improve by working with you. And usually we do it in 2 to 4 weeks. And then once this discovery is done, we move on to the pilot project where we select one high impact production line or area, and we implement this entire computer vision model, training it with the high quality data that you provide, and ensure that the pilot is successful in 12 to 14 weeks. Then we go for full factory deployment, where taking up all the dark spots, all the blind spots in your company, and then have a scalable solution that can be deployed in your factory. So one complete factory premise, we will run it across in 6 to 8 months to ensure that the number of incidents are coming down drastically there. Then last but not least, it's all about scaling up and replicating now. Now, whatever the zero blind spot methodology that we have implemented in your organization, we want to ensure that this framework is implemented across all the sites. Then we aggregate the data into a global dashboard. And by the end of roughly around 18 months, you should have a global dashboard with excellent insights about what is happening in your company. Okay, so the global manufacturers scale AI safety across plants in this way, and that's how we have been helping our customers to do this. In fact, that brings us to the end of this particular webinar, what we wanted to share. Now we are open for your perspectives, your questions on what you feel about this presentation and where you believe AI can play a role in your journey. We have got a first question in the chat. I'm just quickly picking it up from the Q&A. So there is a question from Mr. Subramani. Sir, will it know if it is a safety glass or regular glass the personnel are wearing? Maybe I'll add my perspective, Bona. You can quickly share yours too. Yes, definitely we can do that, Subramani. But I'll be honest with you. At the end of the day, AI is all about pattern recognition. Are you giving high quality data which can differentiate the normal glass versus the safety glass with good enough training data set and high quality images provided? I'm sure the model can be trained to differentiate both of them. Okay, but finally it boils down to what kind of image CCTV camera data that you're providing. With that, we will be able to do it. Bona?
Yeah, and we did have this as one of the class. Either it's just the safety glass, or whether the person is wearing on top of the regular glass as one of the class here, and no glass. Even if the person is wearing their normal glasses, then it has to detect as no glass. And yeah, we had around 85 to 90% of accuracy here.
Yes. Good. So there is one more question that has come up. I think Vishal is asking how accurate is the system? Good question, because whenever we talk about AI, this is a natural question that pops up. Accuracy finally boils down to the quality of the data. I'll put that up front. But usually, if you have good high quality data, the typical range of accuracy is 85 to 90%. Of course, star conditions apply. I always say that it depends on the use case, the camera quality, the training data set that you bring in. But generally, what we do is when we work with our customer for critical environments, we try to improve the accuracy using the custom training with a bit of rule-based validation. That's where the hybrid approach really works out. And with continuous learning loops, we ensure that the accuracy improves over a period of time. And one more question has popped up. Can it work with existing CCTV cameras? Yes. As we mentioned during the webinar, that's one of the biggest advantages that we carry. We leverage existing IP camera infrastructure that you have got in your factory. So there is no need for major hardware replacement in your factory, because that's where the cost is. So we would like to reduce the cost and speed up deployment. Our goal or our approach is usually to use the existing infra and see how well we can utilize it to speeden up the deployment. Any other question that has popped up? Okay, there is one more question. Very good question here. So I'm seeing Swapnil asking this question, like, can it detect multiple safety violations at once? Bona, I'll share my perspective. You can add. Definitely yes, Swapnil. It can simultaneously detect PPE compliance, the restricted zones that we spoke about. If somebody is intruding into the restricted zone, human machine proximity, you can always check. Unsafe posters, we can check, and all can be tracked in real time at the same time. Simultaneously, the machines are smart enough to detect that. Bona, any perspective from your side?
No, you have covered it.
Perfect. Okay, there is also one question. I think in the interest of time, we'll take this as the last question. Somebody has asked this question, like, can this work in low light or night conditions? Bona,
Yes.
does it work?
Yes, nowadays all the IP cameras that are come, they support the night vision cameras, so we get enough insights, and hence once the image or feed is clear to us, the AI is quite capable to process it.
True, very true, Bona. Just to add to that point, maybe to answer this question, I'll split this into two. One, the kind of cameras, as Bona rightly pointed out, infrared night vision cameras have become very popular. So if you have that setup, that's the first thing. And we also train the models really well for low light environments with the right data to ensure that the performance is great even in the night. Okay, so that's how we put it across. I think with that, in the interest of time, we'll just wrap it up here. A couple of questions are there, but we'll take it offline. Yeah, over to you, Vishesh.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lakshmi and Bhuvaneshwari, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us today. Your perspective on AI, computer vision, and real-time safety intelligence is actually very truly enriching. I'd also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you for joining us and being such an engaged audience throughout. Your participation and questions make these discussions meaningful and impactful. As we wrap up, I hope today's session gave you a fresh idea and inspiration on how technology can drive safety and transformations. So we look forward to connecting with you again in the future. And on behalf of ACL Digital and Alpen Group, thank you once again for joining it here and for giving us your time. Wish you all a wonderful day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.